right. Hi. Trying this again because I was streaming just a few minutes ago, and then I think I pressed a button here that made everything disappear. So, anyways, hi, I'm Maria Paith, and this is coming to you live from Waverly, Iowa, in my office. Angelic Enlightenment is the name of my business. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about gratitude and harmony. And actually how that brings balance into our lives. So my podcast earlier today on Angelic University was about gratitude, and I thought that I could expand on that a bit. So when we are in this world that can pull us in many directions, when we're feeling overwhelmed, when things seem to be heavy on us, we simply need to pull away from the illusion of the world. We need to redirect our energy, because we can get on a spiral and spiral out of control, or even spiral out of feeling vibrant and feeling alive. So it is important to realize that there's some little tips that we can rely on to help us. The first tip is a gratitude tune-up. So I encourage people to make lists of things they are grateful for. It can be in the moment. It can be when you have a break. It can be at the end of the day. It can be before you are ready to go to sleep at night. The most effective lists can be at the beginning of the day to set an intention. And it can also be at the end of the day when you have completed a beautiful state of living and being, and you want to share with the world and your sleep, we would say your consciousness, the gratitude, reminding yourself of the moments of gratitude that you were able to afford in that day. Maybe it was a special moment with one of your children, or an experience in business that really helped you to seek with clarity the next step to take, a meeting with a client, or seeing someone else, celebrate a champion situation in their lives, watching the flowers grow, having a coffee clutch with a friend or two, hugging, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend. Those are all things that we can be exceptionally grateful for. Our health, our current state of living and being. There's so many ways that we can look at so many things we can look at and list in a state of gratitude. So the gratitude list is the first tip. The second tip is to chunk down and pair lists. When we have, multiple lists going, I've got to do this for my financials, this for my work, this for the kids, this for, the house, this one over here for my friends and social life, this over here for the church. Things can get very busy and kind of convoluted, and you can be pulled again in different directions, and we forget what's important in life. So chunking some of those have-tos or to-dos down, so that you get them done much more quickly, or more, but I guess we call that efficiently. Another, idea is to take what you might think would take days to do, and put that into categories of times, hours that you could get things done. So chunking the big to-do list. I find sometimes that I am making a to-do list for groceries, and then, I go to the store, but on the way, I could very easily stop at the post office and also go to the printer, and kind of combine those, roles together. And so chunking down your big to-do lists, or making yourself more efficient, even delegating that. And I know that sometimes it's hard for us to delegate to others, thinking they can't do as well as you, but we have to give others a chance or a try. The third tip for harmony and balance in life is really to take small steps to making your home your sanctuary. I need to really listen to this, because right now, after the transition of my mother-in-law, I feel that we have a lot of extra, stuff at our home, and I need to begin to, go through some of those things and make the a home more mine again, or more of a sanctuary, as we would say. There, clutter can really upset our peace of mind and the harmony and the balance of our lives. It can really, kind of do a number on us and make us feel cluttered, not just in the home, but you kind of start to feel a little bit weighed down physically. And so that's important to consider, is to maybe do a little bit of decluttering or make your home your sanctuary. A sanctuary where, perhaps there's less arguing going on, a sanctuary where you make sure that there's, efficient lighting and bringing little pieces that you love, into the home, like, maybe a little crystal. That's a really big one, but, a crystal here and there, a little glitter, a little sunshine, wherever you can place it. Clearing spaces out and bringing in fresh flowers or a new plant, or even really grooming your plants. Those are ways that we can make our home into a sanctuary. And sometimes you have to have like a battle-free zone. In this space, like our family room, we're choose no battles. Let's not argue. Let's not, have fights. And I know that that's something to be aware of and conscious, and not always feasible, but it is important to bringing harmony into your home. Number 4 is unplug from your phone. Those little phones can really be distracting. And I have been seriously considering doing parking spaces for the phone, especially when we have family gatherings, because the phone, can be. Right now, we have everything on there. There can be a camera, it can be the email, it can be the text message we get from anybody and everywhere at any time. And back in the day, we weren't attached to phones. They were on the wall somewhere in the house, and we had time away from all that. And that's something to consider, that you unplug, even if it's just at night, that you are putting your phone on airplane mode, so that we'd say the currents are not running through your mind or your energy and creating havoc with your harmony of your body, with the possible sleep disturbance that can cause. Turn it on airplane mode, and then you won't have any of that interference. Even if the phone is beside you, turn on airplane mode at night and just let that go off. That means that you won't hear it ring. You won't, get any interference or any downloads, and they won't be filtering through the airwaves to interfere with your sleep. You do get better sleep that way. Or better yet, leave the phone, out in another room, park it in another space. But unplugging from our phones. Sometimes I try to unplug completely, like one day on the weekend, perhaps Sunday, unplug completely, like, no media whatsoever, except for, there's a football game on, so we'll watch a football game. But that's what we used to do back in the day, and not really have the football game and our phones and the, laptop going. So there's so many ways we can unplug for harmony and balance. Unplug, right? Breathe, number 5. I cannot overemphasize the importance of deep breath and how deep breathing can support your lungs, and your whole body, because that oxygenated blood travels throughout the whole body, and that's hugely important. So consider deep breathing on a regular basis. Deep breathe and connect with nature. If you have nature outside of you, close by, get out there and hug a tree. Touch touch the snow, connect with the flowers, the plants, touch your animals and pet them. Consider, the connection with the fresh air, and you're taking a walk and you're breathing and you're exchanging, oxygen with the beautiful vegetation that's outside. So do consider that as a way to bring balance and harmony into your life. Number 6, sleep needs to be a priority. And every hour before midnight is worth 2 hours after midnight. And I believe that is still the case. If you can get to bed at a decent time, let's say 10 p.m., you can get a really good night's sleep. It's as if you're getting like 4 extra hours if you can get yourself to bed by 10 p.m. And then perhaps you're waking up then, like at 6 or 7. In either case, consider sleep to be something that needs to be a priority. Our hormones need to like realign and reestablish. There's also this idea too with sleep that the conscious mind is then at rest, and your subconscious is able to kind of recategorize all the activity of the day, and then you have the all of the electro I guess we would say the way, oh, what do we call those? Our neurological, impulses are sharper because we've had a better night's sleep. The processing of, thoughts and the stream of that, again, is better balanced, and we have a better cognition the next day. It's just an easy thing that we can do, but so many of us push the envelope, or as we would say, push the the stretch the time that we could be in bed because we think we can get one more thing done. And that's a lot of times what I do, because that's when I have the most quiet around. But I have found that I have a much better next day or following day if I get to bed by 10. And so that's just an idea. It's an important one, and that was number 6. Number 7 is awareness of your thoughts, replacing negative thoughts with better thinking thoughts. We have to catch ourselves. So you catch yourself in a thought like that you are persevering over this idea about something that someone said, and you can't, stop thinking about it. But then you've gone, for an hour where you've been only thinking about what that one person said and how you should have said this and how you mad they made you and all those things. And it's much better to catch yourself and go, no, what is said, it's done, and now I really can move forward with clarity in my mind. I am okay. This moment is fine. I'm safe. The world is still going, and I am still healthy and able, and I can move forward. Those are positive thinking thoughts about being aware in this moment and not perseverating or finding yourself repeating negative conversation and then bringing that on, that energy on, because it does cause stress on a regular basis. We, find ourselves remunerating over things that have, that have happened, and we have no control over them anymore. But what you do have control of is your thoughts right now. And you can choose to think better thinking thoughts. A thought creates today's thoughts begin to create tomorrow, and then tomorrow begins to create your life. And so we want to be really aware that every moment of the day we begin to think better thinking thoughts. And really this belief, as Abraham and Hicks will say over and over again, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So you want to believe that you are healthy. You want to believe that you are capable and vibrant. You want to believe that whatever was said because that person needed to get that off their chest, and it really may not have much to do with you, or whatever was done is done. And the belief is now that you can move forward and you can do what you need to do in your life to sustain a healthy, harmonic existence that is balanced and whole and true. So important, right? Awareness of your thoughts. Begin to choose life-affirming relationships. So this is one of my favorites. This is number 8. Tip number 8 is life-affirming relationships. So you have people that can bring sunshine into your life on a regular basis, and you know who they are. And then you have downers that can really bring storms into your life. Sometimes we have to have the storm, and it's okay. We love the situation, the person, the condition, but the storm is driving us crazy. So we don't live in the storm, but we have them. and we don't have to continuously be with people that cause storms all the time. So we want to choose the bright sunshine people. You want to choose to maybe have, coffee and connect and call and be, more of do more activities with those people that bring a sense of joy to you or that make you smile. And to me, instantly, children make me smile even when they're a little bit loud. They have happy sounds and happy noises. Now, a screaming child that is very distraught is a bit different, but it's not likely that they're going to keep that up for hours. um, so but a person that is really a downer can keep constantly bringing you down for hours. So you want to be aware of that and conscious of that, and begin to choose more time with the sunshine people. It's not that we ignore our friends that need us. That's definitely not it. But if they choose to live in that down space, we cannot do anything about that. So you want to just be in a place of upliftment, and also be more choosy about the people that you're surrounding yourself with. I find that I really, like cringe when I hear for perhaps a parent like yelling at their child in a store. I kind of cringe and go, oh, isn't there a way that perhaps they could communicate with that child a little more kind, a little more the way that they might want the child to learn to speak to them. And I know that if it's a threat, if it's something that's happening, we have to yell at the child to maybe stop and not go into the flow of traffic. That's different. But, when the child is crabby and then we are getting just as crabby, we're not really good examples. And we're finding ourselves going into that down spiral. So, something to do instead is to redirect that child, and then you do redirect yourself. I mean, I used to think of many, many ways when we'd get in little arguments with toddlers, about like it's bedtime, and it's like, no, don't want to go to bed. It's like, that's okay. Did you hear little Henrietta Hippo is talking to you from your bedroom? And that's of course a stuffed animal. So the child runs in and says, no, no talking. Henrietta's not talking. So then I take Henrietta in my hands and I make her talk, and we'll pretend this angel is Henrietta, and we'll say, hi, little Rachel, it's time for bed. Which book would you like to choose? And suddenly the child is redirected, like and focused on this little animal or this little stuffed, lovey, and they go and choose a book, and they don't even realize that the argument about going to bed has stopped because now we're choosing a book and Henrietta Hippo is helping us. Of course, this is probably more like Angelica the Angel, but I didn't have Henrietta with me. But we used to have a Henrietta Hippo, and she talked to my children when they were little, and I needed like some magic to redirect them. And so use magic for yourself, sing a song you like in your head, walk away from that pesky person for a little bit, and go get a breather, take a deep breath, drink some water, and say, I really can't continue to talk about, this sad topic. We need to move on. We need to, do something else. How about if we go for a walk, or, why don't we meet up next week? And just little things that you can redirect, so that you aren't living your life with all the Debbie Downers. Oh, I shouldn't use that name. I love the name Deborah. And that's no, there's no anybody that's a downer, and it could be anybody. Let's do with the sunshine, right? All the sunshine, and the sunshine Debbies too. Sorry about that. I love everyone, and have a really hard time. I can't believe I said that. I think that's because it's somewhat ingrained at some time. Somebody said that. You know how that is. Sorry. Number 9. Let's see. Set up time. Set up a reminder for yourself to smile, to laugh, to inspire somebody else, to be in a state of appreciation. I've heard of people setting timers on their, iPhones, or Android phones to, take breathers. I know that my, Apple Watch has like a breathe app on it, and I used to use it quite readily until it started to be a little too disruptive. But it would come on and say to remind you to breathe, take a really deep breath. So setting little reminders like that, take a deep breath, smile to yourself, go look in a mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself. This is valuable and important. Take time to stand up every hour if you have a sit down job. If you have a standing job, take time to stretch and really, like redirect the way that you're standing. Bend and stretch a little bit. Drink some water. Take time to just take a breath every hour, and sometimes we need to remember that. Number 10, remember that all you need to be present is yourself. And so you are at peace right now. There is no reason to feel distressed. I doubt that as you're watching this, that there's any kind of danger around you or something horrible happening. Take stock in that. We live in a world today that really is much safer than we can give it credit. There are horrible things that happen, but most of the time, for you and me, we are in a state of safety. And we can call peace and harmony to ourselves at any time. It's a choice that we make in our minds. Even when you do have someone screaming at you, you can take a deep breath, you can close your eyes, and you can just take a moment to know that it's not about you, and that it's not important to spiral out of control. It's much more important to maintain your center of peace. So just a quick recap on all these 10 strategies is gratitude tune-up. Maybe a gratitude list was number 1. Chunking and paring down some of your to-do lists, number 2. Number 3, taking small steps to make your home more of a sanctuary. And maybe it's just decluttering a few items every day until the clutter is gone. Number 4, increase exercise. Increasing exercise increases your serotonin, and so does extra sunshine support the increase of serotonin, which is our happy hormone, and so we need that. Number 5, unplug from your phone. You already know enough about that one. Number 6, breathe and connect with nature. Take deep, full breaths, and I suggest like at least every hour. Sleep needs to be a priority. Awareness of your thoughts, and replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts more regularly. Begin to choose life-affirming relationships more often, and then pretty soon you'll have only life-affirming relationships. Remember to choose sunshine people, and down people deserve your time here and there, but not all of your time. And all of us get down, and there's nothing to ignore there, but certainly a choice if you have a person that is a friend that is always bringing you down. That's not fair to you. Set up to smile or be inspired, or sing or dance or breathe or stretch, at least once an hour. And then as a close, all you need to be present is yourself, that you yourself are actually in a state of peace. You just need to remind yourself of that and call it. Thank you for listening. I started to do this live stream a little bit ago, and then I hit something, and I think it went down. So I'm sorry if you saw me twice, but it's so good to be here and connect with you. I'm trying to post something once a week that kind of is in line with what is going on with Angelic University, this on Spotify and Anchor, the podcast that I have brought to you. These are free teachings from me, Maria Paith, and I am so grateful that you are here. Take time to breathe, beautiful friends. God bless you. Keep you safe and sane and full of light. Amen.